Hello everybody, hi. Today I come at you not with another broken sequence, but a challenge I've already won. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm happy to announce that I've beaten Metroid Dread without picking up any energy tanks or missile upgrades on hard mode. And in this video, I just want to cover the boss and mini-boss fights, as a lot of them are made more difficult with only 15 missiles. The reason I'm not going to be looking at the rest of the run is because, well, you basically just get one shot by everything. Let's start with what I consider a mini-boss. Basically just the X-infected Chozo Warriors and these robots. To fight these Chozo isn't very difficult. They take damage from your regular beam, so even once you've run out of missiles, you don't have to rely on charge shots. The robots, however, are very difficult to beat. These guys are quick, so already fighting them without getting hit is going to be hard. Not to mention you have to fight two of them at a time on two different occasions in this game. On top of it all, they only take damage from missiles and your charge beam. To play it safe, I mostly just jump over a bunch of different platforms to slow down their actions, and only took my shots when I knew I was safe. These were probably the hardest fights in this challenge for me personally, but there are a few things that might get your goat along the way, so let's look at the real bosses. First off, we've got the Phantom Cloak boss, Corpius. This thing is easy, and I've already proven in a previous video that you can beat this guy without even the charge beam or the spider climb, so go check that out if that sounds interesting. Secondly, we've got Crade. This fight took me a little while, because for some reason I kept failing to parry this bastard. But eventually I took him down and all was well in the world. I could have skipped the second phase of this fight altogether with a sequence break, but I really wanted to kill everything in this challenge, so I didn't do it. If you want to see how though, check out my last upload. Next in line is Drogiga, and this doesn't pose much threat either realistically. As long as you don't get touched in this fight, it's pretty simple. You'll also be getting missile refills a lot, so keeping stuck to attack the boss's critical spot is very easy. Fourth in line though, we have Eskew. I didn't know this thing was called Eskew, but the more you know, I guess. This thing sucks to fight in this challenge. Everything is pretty dodgeable, but when it comes to the purple homing shots that it fires, I was practically in a 50-50 every time. I did eventually find a consistent way to use my jumps to avoid these shots, but my god was that unfortunate. Aside from all this, you only have a few moments in time to deal damage to him between electrical phases, so it can be pretty difficult if you've already run out of missiles. But this boss isn't impossible. Finding a consistent jump method was basically 90% of the heavy lifting, and after that it was just a game of patience. Moving on, we have Experiment Z57. I'm learning all sorts of new names I didn't know these dudes had today. This boss is pretty easy. You have a lot of room to move, and every attack is easy to see coming. This might be one of the easier fights in this challenge. And then boom, we're at Ravenbeak. This fight isn't too hard. Being able to avoid everything getting thrown at you is actually quite simple once you've broken down all of his move startup animations. The thing about this fight is you need to have endurance. The first form will always take the same amount of time, because you gotta parry him 2 times to get your damage in. His second form takes the longest of all of them, and you don't get many missile refills, so you gotta slap that fire button to win. My thumb hurt after a while, and it didn't even take that many attempts for me to beat this guy, but his third form is fine. His Shine Spark move is a little hard to dodge, but it's nothing compared to Eskew, so I'm alright with it. He does throw this star into the top of the room, but if you use a power bomb you can break it open and all is well. And that's the challenge. I really wanted to test myself with this game, and honestly, I think this challenge did it. I did of course beat the game in under 4 hours within this challenge as well, but there was one last thing that made this challenge difficult. Not picking up the items. Do you know how many times I had to intentionally not collect these things? It drove me crazy, but at least now I've got the save file to prove it and I'll never have to do it again. Thank you everybody for watching today's video. My name is Myloe, and I'm out.